Going to be talking about soulmates. Hey, everybody. Might have got a sneak peek there. We are going to be talking about soulmates. I am live on TikTok. I'm live on YouTube. And I want to talk to you guys about what are soulmates and what does soulmate mean to you? And can you find your soulmate? How do you find your soulmate? Where is your soulmate? And all these different things. I'm going to be doing some live readings when we get into the session after about 20 to 30 minutes. But until then, welcome, Pumpkin. We are going to talk about soulmates. People have a huge misconception of what soulmates are, and they don't quite understand it. They think it's, the way the movies have depicted it, that you're going to complete each other's sentences and, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that at all. Now, this is my understanding. I could tell you that, hi, Guji, I'm going to do free readings after about 20 to 30 minutes after we talk about soulmates. How do you find your soulmate? Who is your soulmate? And how do you know when you're with a soulmate? The thing is that we are all looking for that princess, the knight in shining armor. Mostly women are guilty of this. Why? Because media has geared this indoctrination and this implanting of information that soulmates are everything. And it's worse now than ever. Back in this 15, 16, 17, 1800s, you married according to status, whatever your status was. So if you were poor as a church mouse, you could only marry somebody that was poor as your church mouse. If you were wealthy, then you could marry somebody who's wealthy. That's why Cinderella, which is actually not, the original Cinderella is actually very old, was about a woman that was poor, meeting her prince, right? And meeting somebody that was wealthier. Okay. The original one, which I would say the original, not the movie, but the original story, I guess, is first, let me see. The original Cinderella story isn't one single tale, but a global folklore that the earliest is a Greek courtesan in the 1st century BCE. And then it came out in the 9th century. And then Grimm's Brothers version was in 1812. Now, the reason in the 1700s and 1812 that Cinderella would have been famous was because that was it. Everyone knew that whoever asked you to marry them, you were to say, yes, I'll marry you, as long as they were in the same, right, in the same category. And as a woman, you didn't have a lot of choice. If somebody courted you and wanted to marry you, that was it. Your life was made that decision. So then we came out, and Grimm's came out with the fairy tale in the 1850s, that Cinderella. And no, you can be a poor person and you can marry a rich person. You can be not so good looking and marry a drop dead gorgeous person. You could be unwealthy and marry somebody who's wealthy. And so we started thinking that that's what soulmates were. And we're talking about soulmates. I'll be doing free readings in about 30 minutes. Soulmates has more to do with matching up with somebody that you have spent other lifetimes with. Okay, so other lifetimes with. But the only reason you're matching up with that person in this lifetime again is because you've got unsettled business, unsettled karma. There's my little puppy. And you've got unsettled issues that you need to work through. That doesn't mean you both have it. What can happen in this fairy tale of a soulmate is that person still longs for you. They're still pining for you. They're still angry with you. They're still frustrated with you. You got a past life story that's nasty, and they're coming to get you in this lifetime. And they're either going to swoop you up and win you over this time, or they've got some revenge to go through. So often this past this soulmate is not a fun relationship. It's about closure. It's about wrapping things up. It's about settling a debt, a karmic debt. And that's why you may have already met your soulmate and you have no idea. I'll be doing free readings in about 20 minutes, if you can hang in there. So when we are, and I'm going to read from you in my book, 101 Answers from the Universe, I talk about what are soulmates in there, Love and Soulmates, and it's 45. Now, this book was completely downloaded. Okay. And I downloaded it in 2019 because Source told me I had to have it out in 2020. We have a lot of suffering around romantic love. Our media, such as movies, magazines, music, books, music videos, video games, etc., has us all manipulated. What is real love? The kind that includes romance and or marriage. In your culture, much of misrepresentation of love occurs in the order to gain power by using your sexual energy and your egotistical desires. Love and lust, everything that tastes good, feels good, looks good, and even smells good is all manipulated for you to purchase more, again, in order to gain power. You think it's just about money. It's not. It's about power. If you want more, you desire more. If you desire, you are always in lack. When you are in lack, you are easily manipulated, and hence the power exists and persists. The more you have, the more you are afraid you won't have. That is another topic for sure. But our point here is that you live in a place of desire and lack. The result of media and consumerism, blah, blah, blah. So let's get into this. Is a long one. Wow, this one is 3 or 4 pages around soulmate. Is there such a thing as soulmates or twin flames? Yes, indeed, there is such a thing as soul flames and twin souls and soulmates. Many of you believe that having a soulmate is the easiest relationship, someone just for you, someone you are here to find. This is more of a description of a twin flame or a twin soul. Many of you have met your soul flames, twin souls. These are people that you have a deeper connection with. They could be families, they could be friends, it could be teachers, they could be parents. Okay, we're talking about soulmates, and we'll be doing readings halfway through, which is about the 30-minute mark. Often the agreement is involuntary because you have experienced some tragedy or traumatic event with them in a past life. So you feel destined to, you feel like you almost, like it's serendipitous, like it's fate, right? You are guess gender of my baby. My ultrasound is on Monday, and I'm curious. Hello, can you guess gender of my baby? It's a girl. Even though I saw blue, what popped out of my mouth was it's a girl. So it's a girl. Now, way to cover my butt, right? It's a girl. And I don't usually do those party trick things, but I thought I'd just throw it out there. I have a 50-50 chance. Have you ever thought that you met your soulmate? Have you ever believed that you met your soulmate? Have you met your soulmate? Maybe you absolutely know that I met my soulmate. What was that feeling like? And how long did you know them? Because I will tell you the 3 ways that you know and how to find your soulmate. First of all, your soulmate is not going to sweep you off your feet right at the beginning. It's not. I don't know. There might be a 3 or 4% chance that could happen, but that's very small. And some people might say, well, I'm going to go for that 3 or 4%. Well, it's not really good odds if you're gambling. I wouldn't do that. So your soulmate is not going to sweep you off your feet right off the bat. Like, tap, tap, tap on TikTok. Your soulmate might even be somebody that you're not attracted to at all. You click, you jive, you can talk the same. You feel almost like a familiar family-like feeling. And then you learn to grow in love from that. And you have you have your issues. You have some very powerful issues, and you have to work through them. Sometimes children will force us to work through them. Financial comfort can force us to deal with it. And if you don't do that in this lifetime, you're going to come back and do it again. Somebody on my YouTube says, I think I meet my soulmate and she betrayed me. You won't know if it's your soulmate for the first 6 months. You won't know. Because the first 6 months, depending on the type of relationship, if it's a long distance relationship, that could be like a year. You could be stuck in the honeymoon stage for well over a year if it's a long distance relationship. If it's someone that you get to see on a regular basis and you get to know them in all different types of environments, then it's usually about 6 months when the oxytocin, the dopamine, and all of those happy chemicals die down. After that honeymoon stage is over, then is this somebody I want to spend some more time with? Many people that are really in love with that dopamine, oxytocin high, serotonin high, that's when they stop. They think, I'm not in love anymore. This relationship is not what I thought it was. And for no reason at all, except that you've fallen out of love, you leave that person. And that's why we have betrayal or people cheat because they're looking for that high again. And there are people, I've said that the biggest addiction that we have in this world is we are addicted to our own chemicals. We are addicted to our own chemicals, our own chemicals, our own oxytocin, serotonin. That's why we get addicted to foods and drinks and cigarettes and drugs and people, because we're addicted to the chemical reaction that we have inside of us. He said energy was something else, but at the end, she decided it was too hard for her. The people would think, well, relationships shouldn't be hard. Yeah, it's going to be. That's the first misconception. I wish everybody would teach us that when we were kids. Our parents kind of teach us that because you think about it. How many of you have been with parents who had happy relationships? Raise your hand. I probably don't see too many hands up right now because that is your first example that relationships are hard. And how did they deal with it? Did they get through it? Are they now 50, 60, 70, 80, and they found a way to get along? They found a way to connect? I can totally see now how, you ever meet that couple, they're 60, 70, 80, and all they do is natter at each other and they banter at each other and they rant at each other. And then one of them passes away and the other one is devastated. And you're like, how could you be devastated? Like all you guys did was fight and nag at each other all the time because they got comfortable. They knew each other. They felt safe to natter and bitch and complain with each other. I'm not talking about an abusive relationship. I'm just talking about like just bickering, right? They got comfortable with each other. They felt safe with each other. They were like best buddy friends. And you live with somebody like that for 20, 30, 40 years, you're going to really miss them when they're gone. They're there every day person. So when we find, first of all, your first sign that somebody is a soulmate is it feels or could be soulmate material, because sometimes we're not going to find our soulmate. We're going to find soulmate material, someone that could fit into that, wants to work at it, wants to have somebody close to them as well. We're going to do free readings in about 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do them a bit early. If you may not be meant to meet your soulmate in this lifetime either. You may be your own soulmate. Your job may be your soulmate. Your career, humanity may be your soul mission. And your soul mission is not to be distracted. If you want to evolve, if you really want to evolve, you want to let go of attachment, you want to let go of desire, you want to let go of being in lack all the time. You want to let go of any blocks that are standing in your way and you want to heal. There are 3 things that you need to do. And one is by default. If you're listening to me right now, you've already done the one. All of you have done the one, and that's to be born. And you've probably done the second one, unless you grew up in an orphanage. The second one is to have parents. Okay, now I'm going to say 4. To have parents, because parents are going to twist you and shape you, and they're designed to karmically make you work through your issues, because they will mirror, because you chose them to mirror the problems that you have. The third one is to get married or to at least be in a long-term relationship, more than 10 years. More than 10 years. Yeah, not 5, right? 5, I'd say about 7 years, like they say that 7-year itch, to get through that. They will twist you and turn you inside out to learn more about who you are. And the fourth one is to have children, because they will definitely do it. So you don't necessarily have to hook up with somebody long-term to have children. You don't necessarily have to have children and be hooked up with somebody for long-term, right? So you don't have to do either one of those, but you're definitely going to be born, and you're going to have, if you're brave. Some people choose, I'm not getting married and I'm not having any children. I know people in their 20s that are saying that. They don't want to do it. And will me and Lucas get back together again? I don't answer those questions. I do, if you want to do a 15-minute reading, a 30-minute reading, which I email to you at askhollyhall.com, and you give me both birth dates, and I'll take a look at the big giant picture, but there's no just one-off crystal ball. Will we get back together again? Yes or no answer. If somebody gives you that answer, run away. That's not what I do. I'm a life coach who happens to have a psychology and philosophy background, as well as having an astrology clairvoyant background as well. I predict the future according to what you can navigate and manifest through the lens of astrology that lays out a timeline of events that will happen. This date to this date, you have an opportunity for blah, 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 right? And this is how, and what I really love is how you get to know yourself through astrology, and how you get to know other people. Understand your mom, your dad, your sister, your partner, your ex-partner, your dog, right? Understand who they are and why they are the way they are, so that you can let go of the blocks that's holding you back from living in harmony with them and living in harmony with your partners or your sisters, or etc. This is the ancient way of looking at astrology. I think karmic love doesn't work on this avatar only compromise where, yeah, I don't know. I did a reading today with a client who found out devastating news about her child and her husband, that anybody would be devastated. They would. I'm selling the house, I'm divorcing you, and I'm taking you for everything you got. That's what most people would do. 99.99% of the people would do that. So CRB is right. We don't understand what real love, what unconditional love is. But I saw her chart, and thanks, Rebecca. And I knew right away, you are the most loyal, compassionate person. You are the person that would set them free. You do you, I'll do me, even though this is like a 20-year relationship. She's that person that would let them go. I had a client a few years ago, and she wanted to leave her husband. Her kids had grown up and left, and her husband, and she goes, I need to find myself. I'm not saying I want to be with somebody else. I don't know what I want. If you want to leave me because I want to do this for myself, then I totally understand. We can get a divorce. But if you're okay with this temporary separation, it's nothing to do with you. And she literally meant that. He let her go scot-free. He was not angry. He was not upset. He was not hurt. He said, I'll miss you. I hope you come back. I love you. But if you don't, I understand. And just the fact that he let her go unconditionally, she came back. Brand new relationship, living happily ever after. Now, she never cheated. She said, if I'm going to want to explore another relationship, I'll let you know well before I do that. Okay. And then obviously we're done. But we live in a very conditional world. And in my utopian vision that I've received, that they're in other in other planets, and I'm not saying that we're supposed to be celibate, that we're not supposed to be monogamous, but the the apple, you know, in Adam and Eve, the apple is our addiction to the chemicals in our body, which is satiated and intensified by desire. And sexual desire is one of them. So the apple is the sin, right? We take the apple and that's the sin. And the sin isn't like, oh, you're going to go to hell and God doesn't love you or Jesus doesn't love you. I don't buy all that kind of stuff at all. And I don't believe there was an actual Adam and Eve. I believe this is a metaphorical story to teach us that the more you desire and you make decisions based on your desire, being convinced that somebody else's desire for you to have this is your desire too, is the karma you got to live with. It's not sin per se. It's that you will live with the karma wrapped around desire. And that's why I love Buddhism. And you'll see here, I've got a few other Buddhist relics around because it talks only about non-attachment. It doesn't mean that they don't have sexual relationships or partners or intimacy. And there's many, and I'll just tell you a little secret here as a life coach. There are a lot of people in long-term monogamous relationships that they're not intimate anymore. They haven't been for years. And one of them is okay with it. I'm not sure if the other one is, but one of them is. And there's a lot that are, finding their own way as well. This is normal. This is more normal than it's not. Why? Because what we're doing now is when we see all of these, Shannon says me, when we see all of these little TikTok clips and YouTube clips and they role play where the man is doing something, as they say, ridiculous or stupid. And then they stop and they go, this is how you should react as a man. Or sometimes they're just joking, right? They're parodies and they're exaggerating and making fun out of it. And it's kind of teaching us that we want men, you have to do this. Men, you have to do that. I literally watched one the other day, and it was a man teaching a man how they should react when their wife is a certain way. And I was like, oh my God, if my husband did that, I'd be like, stop it, be a man. Like, our husbands, our partners are not supposed to be our therapists, our counselors, our consultants, our best friends, our teachers, our fathers. There's one that goes, when my wife wants me to be a cook, and he puts on a cook, he's not wearing a cook outfit, it's AI, right? When my wife needs a ride, then he looks like a driver. And when my wife needs the car fixed, and then he looks like a mechanic. Those things are, we do like our partners to provide in certain roles according to their gender or non-gender, right? But mostly in this day and age, we're asking our partners to be our everything. And you know why? Because we don't have the community and the connection. That's why there's more office romances, because that becomes your community and your connection, because you're problem solving, right? And you're creating an organization that's surviving because you're a part of that organization. And that's what communities do. Not communities. I'm not talking about living in a compound and breaking bread with the same people every night and kumbaya and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about your basic community that you rely on, as all of you rely on each other. You're supporting each other. So if you lived in a town of 10,000 people, 20,000 people, you'd probably all go to the same butcher and go to the same grocery store and go to the similar doctors and similar dentists and go to similar churches if you do, or synagogues or temples if you do. You probably bump into each other in the same 3 or 4 parks, right? I'm not talking about 15-minute cities, okay, guys? And as we grew more metropolitan in big city, we lost that. And we only lost, well, we lost it because we're probably like doubled our population, but we also lost it because everyone congregated into big giant cities. And so we want our soulmate, our partner, to be all of these people that would normally be in our lives. Like, I literally have a friend that we walk once a week. She is my therapist and I'm hers. She is my consultant and I'm hers. She is my coach and I'm hers. She is my sister from another mister and I'm hers, because that's, and it took me a long time to find that kind of person, a really long time. And we philosophize together, and like, this is what we're supposed to have. Like, she really shouldn't be the only person I can connect that way. I should be able to connect with this person in this little way, and this person in that little way, and this person in that little way. And even the person that pisses me off at the grocery store, we have to have those people in our lives too, right? So our partners become the person that pisses us off too. They become everything. And I said to a client this morning who, Shannon, let's do a reading and unstuck you in a few minutes. I said to a client this morning who's been married to the same guy for over 20 years, and she goes, I've realized now that I have to make the plans. I have to plan the vacation and plan the getaways and plan the Christmases and all the holidays. And I can't ask him to be a part of it, but he will always show up eventually. Before that, I've been coaching her for over 5 years. Before that, she all she did was complain. He won't do this, he won't do that, he won't go here, won't go that. And we're not going on vacation because he won't go. Until she realized, if I just did it on myself, by myself, he will come along. And I said, there's two reasons for that. And then she said, he's always negative. He's always negative. We're driving, meh, 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 everywhere we go, meh, 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 go to the grocery store, meh, 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 meh. He's all complaining, right? So the first thing was, he doesn't want to commit to something long term. There's something about him that needs the freedom to not commit. So if he doesn't have to commit, and you're going to do it anyways, then he can, by free will, contribute, which is what he'll do. We've all done that. Your boss came up to you, can you take over the project from Bob? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want the responsibility. But you end up helping Bob and doing most of it yourself anyways, because it gave you the freedom, free will to do it on your own. The second, which is his complaining side of him, is, what if I said to her, he got a lot of Scorpio in his chart. So I said, he holds a lot of stuff in, and he's got a lot of responsibilities at his work, and he's always putting out fires at work. I said, he has to keep his cool at work. He has to keep his cool with your son, who's gone off the deep end quite a few times. He has to keep his cool in other situations, right? But he doesn't have to keep his cool with you. So because he holds so much in and he controls his emotions because he doesn't want to show vulnerability, he feels free to feel vulnerable with you. Is it right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it doesn't irritate the crap out of her, but this is soulmate material. I guarantee you the last part of their lives, they're going to live a lot happier than they did the first part of their lives. And I'm going to make sure I help that happen. CRB says, the alpha man, we do what we want. I provide everything. But when you provide, you can't be manipulated. This is hard for a lot of today's women. So, okay, so as an alpha man, he can provide what he wants. He can provide everything. But the woman, you're saying the woman can't accept that. You can't be manipulated. I'm not sure what that means. Probably should say, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. I think karmic love doesn't want, I'll check all four. Okay. So we're going to just jump right into doing the readings right now and take a look at, you got to know what you love and why you love and how you love it. Somebody said to me, I gave them a little free reading. And I found this kind of, and I'm judging again. I'm so terrible. I gave somebody a free reading, and I just was going to give them 10 minutes because they came out of their own in this group that we belong to, and I had a bunch of questions for me because he's skeptic. I'm sorry, I'm skeptic. I said, you should be skeptic. Everybody should be skeptic. I was skeptic, and started asking me these questions. I go, why don't I just, and he signed up, by the way, I have a course this Sunday. It's a free astrology course at 8:00, and you can find it on my Substack. You can find my Substack on my website, askhollyhall.com, and just go straight there and you'll see that there's a course and you can sign up to the Zoom thing, or you can email me at holly@askhollyhall.com. And it's a free course, and I'm going to do the ascendant, the rising, and the moon, the ascendant, the sun, and the moon. We're going to talk about that. So I ended up talking for 30 minutes and recording it and sending it to him because I just couldn't stop. I was just like on and on and on. And he said, first of all, no disrespect, but if you were looking to get a client out of this, you're not going to get one from me. I wouldn't pay for something like this. And I was like, dude, you came to me and asked me questions. And that shocked me because I do these little freebies all the time, and that's not my intent. I don't even want a client like that. I want a client who has been recommended to me by somebody else. And then I thought, why would I go on and on for 10 minutes, like for 30 minutes? Like you literally just got a whole freaking $100 reading is what I gave you. You already got everything you need. But the point is he said, I guess everybody would like to be called responsible and reliable and dedicated and a hard worker and would love to be self-employed or have an autonomous job. Wouldn't everybody want that? No, not everybody wants that. And the thing is that when we all, as humans, we all have basic behaviors. So for instance, jealousy, okay? As humans, many of us have jealousy or envy or desire. Somebody else has something I don't have. But there are many reasons that gets you to that point. Many background characteristics that will get you. So I could look at 3 different charts and see 3 different jealousies. So for instance, Leo, Scorpio, and Leo Scorpios are the ones that can be the most envious and the most jealous. And let's say Aries, because they can be competitive. And somebody might say, this person's jealous, this person's jealous, that person's jealous, or all 3 jealous. But I will look at the chart and see 3 different reasons why you got to that. You're competitive. You envy because you like people that have different status financially because you grew up poor. All 3 different reasons. Okay, so let's do the readings here. I thought this was supposed to go automatically. And what I want is your birth date, your birthplace, and your birth time. And I can take a look at, I can answer any question that you want, first of all. And you're probably not a Libra because I do sidereal astrology, which is astronomy astrology. Barbara says I'm amazing. Thank you. 510 means nothing to me because I don't know if that's October 5th or May 10th. Is May the 5th month? I don't know. So, okay. Sherry wants to know. Okay, Sherry says, will my mom get a retirement home soon? And that's not. So that's your birthday. So your mom is in a circumstances where you're a very loyal person to a fault, and you don't mind spending money on whatever it takes for your mom to get the nursing home of your dreams. And that's what you're wondering, why is this getting in my way? Because the financial situation got that straightened out, but it's still not happening. And you're going to get an answer in May about the nursing home, but it's not the one you want. So let's say there's like 3 that you're looking at. And if you were to add a 4th one, that's probably the one that you're going to get offered. And so you're going to struggle with that for about the rest of the year. And I would say if you choose it, you'll still be, I don't know if I made the right choice. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. I'm really confused around it. and that confusion will lift for you in 2027. So I can't say it's going to be anytime soon. I see it happening in the early part of 2027. Yeah, 2026, sorry. So no, the early part of 2027 is when I see it happening. Sorry, I just jumped to 2028 for some reason. Okay, October. Thank you. Now she wrote everything out. October 5th, 69, 12:35. I'm going to talk to you about your personality. If you don't give me a question, I will just talk about your personality, who you are, what you're all about. I'll probably talk about how you love, what you love, and the way you love, and what you want in love. And because I'm talking about soulmates, so that's what I will bring up. Finances is still too general as well. So 12, everybody asks about finances. It's very general. 35. You only got me for a short period of time. I always say, I don't have no time for foreplay. Let's just get down to business. What do you want? What do you really want? Let's manifest this. Let's make this happen. But I will tell you that you're going about it the wrong way in who you're talking and who you're communicating with to get your finances worked out. You've been going through a real financial issues in the last year. And you don't need to know the time of your birth, Shannon. It's been important for you to take opportunities, but you haven't taken some of the opportunities that have come your way in the last year or so. And you will have one last, because you've been confused. I don't know if this is what I want to do, if I make a mistake. So that's all going to be lifted, the confusion, in May of 2025. And your finances will improve drastically and in your favor in July and August. Now, if you were to tell me, there's a possibility that you have to go overseas, or you're going to work long distance, or you're going to go back for education. Those three things to improve your finances, financial situation. Okay. Shannon, did you ask me a question? August 26th, Dayton Valley, Alberta. Your question is, I don't see your question along with your birth date. So I'll do the same thing. If you guys did ask me a question, but you didn't put it on the same line of your birthday, like I can't be scrolling up and down, left and right, everywhere, looking to match everything up, right? So you have to put everything all in one line. August 26, and then we can get right down. And I can get downloads. Holy cow, if you ask me an exact, distinct relation. So this is the idea of not a good question. Not a good question is my love life. Not a good question. A great question is, I'm married to the same man for 20 years and I'm not happy. What's going on? What's going to happen? That's an exact question. And that, boom, you're going to get an exact answer. Okay? Okay. Okay, we've got you there. I still don't, oopsie. Will I leave my boyfriend? Okay, you're amazing. Thank you, Nita. I hope that resonated with you, Nita. I'm with the same man for 14 years and I'm not happy. What is going on? Will I leave my boyfriend? Okay, I feel stuck. Okay. I feel stuck is very general, but everything else you just said is perfect. Perfecto mano. You don't know the time of your birth, which means, so you're that 6-month honeymoon person. Right? You were out of love with that person after the first year or so. If it was long distance, it might have been longer than that. If you had to work through some tragic issues, it would have been even longer than that. But when that honeymoon stage was over and there was no more excitement going on and no more family drama, you just fell out of love. You fell out of love and you're bored. And you want a relationship where someone's nurturing you, someone's caring for you, and somebody treats you like a princess. And you can be treated like a princess. My husband treats me like a princess. And it can happen. I actually didn't appreciate it at first. I thought it was like, right? But now I really appreciate it. And that's what you want. So if you're going to leave that partner, it is going to happen not until the end of the year. And it'll be very sudden and unexpected. You have a huge blow up around it and just saying, I'm leaving, I'm going to get out of here in April. And usually, if you were a coaching client of mine, I would say when this meltdown happens in April, if the relationship is relatively healthy, but you're just not happy and things need to change, then I would say don't make that decision between now and February, March of 2027, but lay down a boundary that if nothing changes within a period of time, you can say 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, whatever you want to do. If nothing changes in our relationship and I'll do whatever it takes, then I'm leaving, hands down. I've done the research here, I've done the research there. There's divorce papers right here, the separation, or here's the legal documents for a separation of our assets, blah, blah, blah. And then don't make that because you're at that, should I stay or should I go now? Like you wait till June comes, you're gonna have a lot of anxiety around wanting to leave. And it's not always it's like not the best time to gamble, and that's a gamble. Right? I'm going to look at JDEL. You're going to be next. And JDL, can you give me your birth date and your birth information ASAP? So if the relationship doesn't make it, it'll be in March and April of 2027. Because you hang in there. You know, this has become your home. This has become your comfort place. This has become your fam jam. Like, this is not easy. Jadel, I need your birth date. I need your birth, like April 5th, 1999, 2 p.m., London, England. Like, I need your birth date to answer your questions. You might have put it on top, but I've missed it because I'm just seeing your questions right now. I'm going to look at my YouTube. Please go to my YouTube. Go and sign up for my YouTube at askhollyhall.com. And Ask Holly Hall is my YouTube. Holly, thank you. Our recent reading, you've been a great help during my work to retirement transition. It's tracking. It's tracking. Yay. That means it's hanging in there. Annetta, I check all 4. I love it. That's funny. Okay. So let's take a look at, Ask Holly Hall is my YouTube channel. I have way more information going on there. It's funny I said 1999, like I knew you were young because you're 1996. And I'm not a medical professional, or a mental health expert. I'm a coach that has a background in psychology and philosophy, and you're in Toronto, Canada, and you're at 2:10 a.m., right? But I can nail down, sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. So what I'm going to say is a lot of what your depression and your sadness can stem from is your relationship with your mother. You have a past life relationship with your mother that was very, very, very difficult in this lifetime. And a difficult relationship with your father, even though strangely they might have had a good relationship with each other. 1995. Damn, girl. Now I'm reading a completely different person. Ugh. I hate that when that happens. Okay. 1995. Why didn't it change very much? Okay. June 22nd, 1995 at 2:10 a.m. And now I have to change it to Toronto. Okay, so let's get this done. Let's take a look at this because I want to see the best I can help you with. Okay, very different scenario here. You're very, very creative. You're extremely creative, and there is no longer a past life relationship with mother. There is a very strict and stringent, and the feeling like father wasn't there. Okay, it felt like a looks like a father figure wasn't there. And it also looks like abandonment from mother. And you had a mother that was a very unpredictable, or the circumstances around your mother was extremely unpredictable. And this makes it difficult for you to work for other people, even though you really desire to have a steady income. You really desire to have a steady income, and you get very down on yourself if you're not in love with your job. I want you to be careful because you're a very artistic and creative person that can get bored very easily, and working for somebody else is difficult. You'd make a great cook. You'd make a great, in acting. You'd make a great creative. You would work well helping people with money and other people's money, but that would get boring for you after a while. You have to be self-employed or work an autonomous career. The next 5 years is gonna change drastically in the career world, and you're gonna be a part of that change. So you don't really know what your job or your career is right now because it doesn't exist. The more you can interact with me, Jadelle, as I'm talking, the better that you can do that. You fall in love very easily, specifically with partners that look like they're well off financially, and yeah, wow, you hit the nail. This resonates very much. Thank you. That's gratitude to the universe and source that's given me the proper information. The the thing is that things are gonna change. You are in a very, very, very confusing time. You don't like your boss right now. You don't like your father right now. You just like, if I just had money, I could get out of this shithole of a situation, and that's why you feel stuck. But I want you to get out of the idea that money is what's gonna save you, because it's not. It's not money. It's you finding the courage to be able to say, "You're not allowed to treat me this way." My dad was growing absent growing up, severe depression, and parents have been together since they were 15. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, your parents are together, but you're not jiving with them, right? Even in this new chart, the new one, your parents are still together, but a lot of, like, it's like in your mom's according to your mom was very unpredictable in her behavior, and you felt invisible around your mom. Like, literally, you felt invisible. You always looked for her approval, but didn't get her approval. You even went out of your way to make money for the family. Did you not? When you were a teenager, because you're a rescuer, did you go out of your way to try to support the family somehow at a young age? Um, but that wasn't appreciated either. She said, "Yes, exactly." That wasn't appreciated either. And, I mean, probably just, used it for their own self. And you were a really gorgeous little kid, like a really cute kid, and you were like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," like, you were bouncy, you're like the Energizer Bunny, and you got a lot of attention. You were actually the apple of your dad's eye when you were very, very young, like under the age of 5 or 6, but then that changed, right? And you're only burnt out because you're supposed to be self-employed. You're supposed to be working for yourself. You've got, a beautiful combination of being able to mentor other people. You got strong leadership skills. You're in a very confusing time, and I'm gonna tell you when that's gonna be over, and it's gonna be over very soon because you've already been going through 1 year of hell around it. And literally, the blinders are gonna come off in March. By by the middle of April, you're gonna see very, very clear, right? Very clear. You were a trophy child to your mom, right? My mom wanted me to be a model as a kid. Yeah, I was gonna say you were a trophy child. "Look at my child. Look how great she is. She's so wonderful." And everybody's like, "What a wonderful mom she has. She's always complimenting you." And then you go home and she loses it on you. And you're like, "What was that? You love me or you don't love me? You think I'm the best or I'm not the best?" So all of this clouded vision that you're in right now, this confusion is you got a trophy daughter? Shannon, what does that mean? So Jadelle, by the time mid-April comes, you're gonna see as clear as day. Like, literally, there's a song called "I Can See Clearly Now, the Rain Is Gone." You are going to be clear as day about what you want. What you're doing right now is you're getting rid of the residual of that abandonment, right? She she premmed me. I'm so proud of her. If if you can take a look at the abandonment and the anger that you have around it, you're gonna be fine. And you're angry. Were you an athlete? Ah, pre-medical school. AI is gonna take a look at all that medical stuff soon. It's gonna take over. Were you an athlete? Yeah, because that's how you would get your frustration out. So I want you to get yourself a punching bag or kick your feet in the air or go to the gym and just "Argh," you're letting out adrenaline, right? But I also want you to do very soft exercises. Look at doing Tai Chi. Take a look at Tai Chi in that energy field, and I'll tell you when you're gonna make a ton of money. So mid-April, it's gonna be done. Hi hi, Chrissy in Canada, and by your money checks in, I know it's not right away, it's not overnight, it's between 2028 and 2030, and whew, you're gonna be doing really fine financially, real fine. So I want you to find a way to be self-employed. I want you to make sure that you're creative all the time, and try to tame down the activist in you. You've got what's called an ADD or ADHD personality, but I will tell you, and you're half and half, and there's another half of you that's just chill, right? You're just chill. You just want to be lazy and do nothing. And then you're like, go, 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 go. That's the ADD and ADHD. Amazing. Thank you for the insight. I needed this. So ADD is not a deficit and it's not a disorder. It's the stupidest label they ever made in the entire world. The world has a problem with people that are creative, multi-talented, multitasking, curious, multi-questioning. You got in a lot of trouble when you were a kid for asking too many questions. So you got to honor the fact that you get bored easily. You're restless. You like some drama and some color and some excitement in your life. And you're going to do what it takes to get that. And you're not going to let anybody get in your way. And you're gonna be very clear about it. So I want you to shelve this. What should I do? Where should I go? How am I gonna be? Who am I? Because your mother made you a trophy child, so you became a porcelain doll. You don't know who you are. You are whatever you played the part. You're a very good actress. You played the part. In fact, you wanted to be an actress when you were younger. So that cloud's gonna lift in the middle of April. And then I got one more thing. I had one more thing I wanted to look at. It just left me for some reason. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I love your optimism though. You always see a silver lining around everything. Wow, the accuracy, I can't even tell you. It's crazy. AskHollyHall.com. Sign up for my newsletter, get an instant 20% off if you're looking for a reading, or just get a mini reading. They're like 33 bucks, right? And they're super cool. Okay, Christy, yeah, you can ask a question. You just need to ask your exact question like Jadelle did, and your birth date and your birth information. And don't put all numbers. I need to see the word April, the word May. Holly is Raphael, my true soulmate, May 5th, 78. That's going to be hard because I just finished telling you, you got to go back to listening to this on YouTube. Jadelle, you go to my YouTube channel and sign up. This whole session will be on the YouTube channel. Okay. And you can save it. I highly recommend that you do so you can remind yourself who you are. Um, I need to both birth dates to take a look at whether Raphael is the one for you. And I just finished talking about soulmates. Is he a difficult, challenging relationship? Are you struggling to be with him? Have you been with him for more than 5 years or 10? Then there's no way any of us could tell you if he's your true soulmate or not. You're not a Virgo, you're a Leo. I do sidereal astrology. I do astronomy astrology. Everything is shifted because the earth is on a wobble. And that's why all our seasons are shifting. Do you see a move in my near future? I'll take a look at that. If you know your time of birth, that would be helpful. May 5th, 1978. And There's no there's no soulmate material in your life right now. Don't have your time of birth, so that's hard to say. So I'm gonna say probably not. But 2027 is where I see you in a pretty good relationship. Very good relationship. Okay. So September, but if you do a mini reading and send me both your birth dates, I can tell you the pitfalls, the advantages. I can talk to you about the entire relationship on both ends, on his end and on your end. What does it mean to him? What does it mean to you? I worked with a client today who's been in a relationship for 3 months. She hadn't been in a relationship for 15 years. I've been working with her for 5 years. And she goes, "Is this the guy for me? Like, I've never, wanted anybody before." And she's been in relationships, but they came and went really quickly because that's her personality as well. She's got an impatient personality. She's got half patient and half impatient, which is a crazy way to live. September 11th, 1984. Do you see a move in the future? I can tell you about yourself alone. Yeah, whatever that means. Um, what the heck happened? Why won't it go? There we go. Should I stay or should I go now? Will we move? Will we move? Don't move yet. Oh my gosh, don't move yet. There's a ooh, we don't know what time you're born. Oh, 3:14 AM. Okay. That doesn't change much. Uh, 5 degrees. So I would say a move to your dream location will happen after. Hang in there for a second. April and May. April and May. Let me take a look at. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, April and May. Very good chance of moving. And a very sudden, very unexpected, but you're kind of slow moving. I don't think you'll jump at that one right away. So you might wait. No, it'll be April and May. Yeah. Okay. And taking a look at the soulmate, already did that. What direction should I go in business? I want to open a business and I don't know how. Okay, good with that. Me and me ex broke up. We still live together. I can't afford to move now. Okay, good content on this page, Viren. Thank you. Thank you. Like, tap, tap, tap. If you have time, please. Yeah, Cadet, if you can copy and paste that entire birth information and ask a question, because I don't have time. I will if you ask me a direct question, because I'm going to answer the October 19th, 1991, because she's asking me a direct question and really wants to know about her business. I do business coaching too. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been self-employed. I've had a wedding magazine. I had an event program, wedding program management business. I've been self-employed hairdresser. I've been self-employed wedding makeup artist and hairdresser. I owned an online radio station. I've been self-employed as a coach using astrology for 9 years, very successful. And I've learned everything the hard way. And I just love helping my clients. And I'm very technically advanced for my age, actually. And I'm still learning how to use technology. And I love it because it's just ever changing right now. So the business that you should be going with is, holy cow, you're a problem solver. You're amazing at business. You are an amazing problem solver. It's difficult for you to work for other people, though, because with other people as partners, partnership isn't going to work for you because it's hard for you to make decisions as it is. So you tend to take a partner so that they can help you make decisions, but it doesn't always go in your favor. And then you're disappointed. So I wouldn't take up with a partner. There's definitely success in the business, specifically if your Libra is at 0 degrees. We don't have the time of your birth, so no, Libra's not at your 0 degrees. You are here to learn to be autonomous and self-employed, and you need to open up your own business. So the direction is, it could either be in legal work, it could be in the um, beauty, in the beauty industry of one way or another, whether it's nails or hair or whatnot. And you would also do good as a consultant, like helping people problem solve as a coach. Everybody comes to you for problem solving, and you could work with money and finances as well. But you're also pretty good at cooking and landscaping, but you don't always have. You really like to be kind to the earth, right? But everything for you uh, is problem solving. You make a great consultant in problem solving, and yeah, so I don't know if I'm hitting anything nail on the head there. Let me see if I can get one more in. Um, in general, I want to know how I can better myself. Okay, that's a better one. I don't like generals, not even when I'm doing like one-on-one 1 hour readings. Like, you're going to be engaging with me. And I struggle with that too, but somehow that's how I get downloads. Like, I'm not psychic where I just know everything telepathically about you. Uh, it's the downloads. That's why it's called Ask Holly Hall, askhollyhall.com. Because when you ask me a question, an answer comes to me. And it's always exactly the answer that not always, but most of the time, exactly the answer that you need to hear. Uh, I don't know. You're smart. So 2001. I love that you wanna better yourself, though. Holy cow, this is your whole year of bettering yourself. There's gonna be a sudden unexpected change, probably in, sun. It's you're gonna change, actually, you're gonna change your community and your environment of where you're living. That's not easy because you kind of get scared of change, but you're excited about it at the same time. Uh So there's going to be a sudden unexpected opportunity for you to change in your house and change in your environment, living somewhere different. He says, holy, or she says, holy crap. And that's going to be in April, May. You already started designing it last year, and now you're manifesting because you're in a manifesting stage, which starts in February. And there'll be a sudden unexpected opportunity for you in May and June, and off you go. Can you elaborate on that? Holy crap, thank you. So glad to hear. That means it sounds like you kind of already know what I'm talking about. You've been working on it for about a year, so just be open to manifesting. I have a manifesting group. You can find it on my website. It's my Substack group basically, and you want to sign up for my Substack. You want to sign up at my YouTube channel. Ask Holly Hall is my YouTube channel because that's where all of this reading is going to be. And I would love you guys to go and make a comment. Like, it's going to go up in a few minutes. And I would love you guys to go in there and comments because comments really helps my YouTube channel as well. Okay, everyone, I'm going to end this. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about, what are we talking about tomorrow? I think we're going to be talking about karma. I've heard that 2026 was meant for new beginnings. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Good. I think